Hi, welcome into this Total Merchant Resources Review, where I, Michael from Viral Funding Solutions, will be uncovering the truths nobody else is sharing with you about this funding program. Is it legitimate, pros and cons, alternatives, and so much more, so you can finally power forward, continuing to build, grow, expand, and even get out of a tight pinch. Let's get right into it. You're looking at the home page here, fund your business the right way. So primarily in the very beginning, what they were known for were this funding service called a merchant cash advance. And this is a business funding service where you can be given an advance towards your future receivables. So it's based upon credit card processing. So for example, if you make a certain amount in a day, if it's low, possibly get taken out less. And if you make more, you get taken out more. You keep some of it, the rest of it goes back into that merchant or that lender, whoever has given you the advance to begin with. So they're getting paid back. And that's how a merchant cash advance works. And I've made separate videos on what that is down below in the description, as well as same day funding up to 25, up to 35,000 with great benefits. And I'm going to be showing you what that also program is. Now, this was brought by two lower sharks, or we call them mini sharks, to the higher sharks. So you had Jason and Val, who went into the Shark Tank. You've seen the show with Kevin O'Leary and everyone in there. And they wanted to partner with one or more of the sharks to enhance their credit card processing systems. And so they got a deal struck with Kevin O'Leary himself. You see him right there on screen. And over here, let's continue to move forward. But just because there is a great presence with the shark and so forth, it can only be looked at as, yes, a marketing point, but that doesn't necessarily mean they are the best solution. And let me answer the question, if I haven't already: are they legitimate? Yes, they are. However, it doesn't necessarily mean this is the best way for you to go. And I've been a business loan broker / agent for quite some time, helping out individuals of all backgrounds and all industries. And I know all the troubles, the objections, the pain, the problems, the roadblocks you endure to try to get you to those results. So I'm going to do my best as we continue moving forward. And as well as, I'm going to leave this free questionnaire form for you down below in the description that you can complete to get a personalized and customized email response for your best funding option and options. Plus, get a free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist to get you approved for funding much faster, so you know without a shadow of a doubt, with 110% confidence and certainty, that you can get approved before you even walk into the application, not getting shut down, not wasting time. We're talking about days, weeks, months, and even years of sifting through old, outdated, scammy, theory, fluffy-based information that just doesn't work. This is kept up to date with the market today, and whenever it transitions, it'll continue to be updated if necessary. So this should take you no longer than 30 seconds literally to be finished if you have everything in there. And it could look like this more or less. It could change over time, but you'll expect to see that. And again, that'll be linked to you down below in the description. So before we go into the funding services, let's go through their homepage: CNBC, 77 WABC Radio, Subway, 1450 WCTC, The Voice, Forbes, ABC, Dunkin' Donuts, News 12. So you can see they're well known. And because they went on Shark Tank, not a lot of these owners behind these companies will always reveal themselves, possibly because they don't want to get spammed, or they just have something else they're cooking up their sleeves, Breaking Bad status, but not necessarily all that. But just because they hide an identity doesn't mean necessarily they're wrong. It does not mean that. These individuals don't. They'll show you who they are, and they're upfront about it, where they went through. So you can see over here, get started, fill out the quick app below, and we'll be in touch with a preliminary answer within 24 hours. So it's a quick turnaround. And how it works with these 4 simple steps: complete the application. You'll need your basic business information and documentation to apply. Very standard. Number 2, sign and submit by web application. Your loan advisor will confirm receipt of your application and let you know if any additional documents are needed. So before I move any further with that, what you're going to see in this lending space, because I've been in it for such a long time, private lending, SBA, government related, IRS, employee retention, tax credit, anything you name it, I've helped out with. And I've helped out a lot of people get funding in the appropriate type. And what you're going to see is usually an online application process. It can be PDF and online, but a lot of the times it's it's going to be either or if it's just one, it's the 100% online digital application process, where a lot of it you can upload your bank statements right away and it's streamlined, robust, safe, and secure. And I know a lot of people have questions to that of what they're asking for, things like Social Security, and that's a lot to verify you are who you say you are. But then too, we can look into your credits and say, hey, is this individual making their payments on time? Are they paying their bills? So it's not like it's going against you and it's any kind of fraudulent activity. It's very safe and secure, but you have to go to the right people and the right programs. Step 3, get a smart decision. Our underwriting team, will review your paperwork, and your loan advisor will reach out within 24 hours with a decision. Number 4, receive your funds. Funds will be then deposited into your bank account within 1 to 2 business days after you've been approved. So it is very quick. It can say 1 to 2 days, and depends on how much you're getting received, how much information that's going to be needed to be supplied. But with merchant cash advances, a lot of the time it's very minimal documentation, about 3 to 6 months or so, even up to 12 months, depending on the season and the industry, depending on what they're looking at. They need to see more seasonality changes, specific industries again, and so forth. And it can be a voided check, copy of your driver's license, a credit application for certain purposes, and so forth. Okay. Credit statement. Cash flow compatibility. Our advances do not require large monthly payments. We receive an ACH or percentage of your credit card sales, so the advance is repaid with natural flow over your business. So this can be good and both bad at the same time. You have to understand that if with credit card processing, and if this is not technically a loan, you're getting an advance based on your future receivables. So if you make a certain amount in, like, let's say you receive you're using these funds, you receive $300 one day, or $3,000, let's say. Now you're taking away a future percentage of that. So it may be minimal, maybe more on one day that it's higher. And it's good if you're cash flow positive. It's predictable cash flow as well, month to month, and you're not having to be in a situation where you're already in insufficient cash flow revenue monthly, and you're hurting, and then you're going to go end up getting into a default. Now, you don't want to do that. You might want to position yourself into a business line of credit if you have the qualifications and more. So reasonable credit standards. Our credit requirements are carefully designed with an understanding of the unique credit profiles of small business owners. Low documentation required is easy to fill out an application online to be completed to issue an approval. Fast approval. You can expect your application to be approved within 24 hours and funded in as few as 2 to 3 business days. Hassle-free repayment process. And I'll also show you an alternative where you can even get same-day funding, so you're not having to wait 2 to 3 business days. But in some cases, that's not bad. You may need it right away, so you may need to take out a little bit less to get what you need and then come back for the rest. That's what a lot of people end up doing. So don't think because I wanted 2 million, but I'm only qualified for 20,000, you shouldn't go with it. What I tell individuals is, if you can take what you can get now and pay off at least 50% of it, or refinance it, or we look at a 60 or so days, 45 to 60 plus days to come back and get you more funds, or however that works out, then that's the way to go. Unless you really needed it all at once, you're like, I got to pay this debt, this is the only primary use, and I need some of it for business and growth, that you don't understand. I have a project that needs to be done by next month. And there's some instances where you have to have it all at once, but in most cases, you can come back and get more. Hassle-free repayment process. Our advance is paid back via ACH or from your credit card sales as you batch. So there are no checks to write or due dates to worry about. Dependable customer service. You will be assigned a dedicated, highly trained and experienced account manager. What are your clients saying? Val and his team told that Total Merchant Resources have been a lifeline for my business, personally friendly and reliable. Don't know where I would be without their services. Looking forward to our continued business. Andrew Bloom, owner at Two Men and Appetite. And then you have here Don. Total Merchant Resources is always helpful and amazing, and an amazing person to work with. I have been doing business with your company for 3 years and wouldn't want anyone else to handle my account. He makes you feel very comfortable in the process of getting the loan, and is extremely knowledgeable in the loan process. Of course, we're giving the company name, not an actual person's name, so you can see why that's a little confusing there. Don, owner at Belmont Cafe. And then you have a little bit more there, you can see. Now, let me scroll down here, and then I'll go into the services. Takes money to grow a business. You can see they were on Shark Tank and the outcome of it. Here's what Kevin O'Leary is saying. Total Merchant Services is a game changer in the sense that it can help you get capital to fund inventory, receivables, whatever you need, regardless of what business you are in. Kevin O'Leary. So I did a recent review on a different program where there is another Shark Tank entrepreneur, but I'll try to link to that down below. But it's a bit different. It's about broker program. But again, I'll try to link you to it. It's not directly in this capacity, in this way. So over here, small business loans, if we click there, we'll show you the process. So you have Jason and Val right there of Total Merchant Resources on the screen there. You can watch that video. How does a merchant cash advance work? As I already went through, performance of your business is very important, especially when we're looking at cash flow. This is all cash flow, not collateralized. So it's based on your ability and the accountability, especially that more than anything, to be responsible for making sure you make those payments on time. No personal liability. There are no checks to write, no possible late fees, no personal liabilities for the money, strictly against the business. This is the only solution in today's economy that is unsecured with no liens, judgments, or personal guarantees. The only collateral is the future credit and sales of your business. The business operates as the way it does, though in an automated process. When you batch your credit and debit card sales, the processor automatically forwards TMR, the agreed upon percentage of these receipts. It's easy to qualify. Fill out the simple one-page application provided in the application part of this website, or call the toll-free number, and one of our agents will email you, fax you one immediately, or fax you immediately. Provide 4 months of bank statements, provide 4 months of recent merchant statements. There's a program available for almost every applicant. If you have been trying to get some working capital for your business and are having a difficult time, you should still be able to get an approval through our approval rates are 95% and above. And you can see there, let me go through some of the other services, and I'll go into some of the alternatives that I recommend. I would say so, more so than anything. And especially there's a hybrid cash advance where you don't have to be taking away a future percentage of your credit card and even debit card receivable. So it's predictable what you're paying like on a daily, weekly basis. A lot of this that's monthly causes defaults. So you don't see a lot of it in this industry, especially with cash advances. And people ending up in defaults, and they end up going into collections, complaints over and over. I've heard it a lot of the times at the beginning for myself, and I'll still get it from time to time with people who don't truly understand what they're using their funds for. So what I say to you, and I don't get it as much as I used to. And the reasons I get it is because I have already explained it to the owner, like, you have to understand what you're using these funds for, otherwise you're going to get yourself in a situation. And if I hear something that's not going to sound right, and it may not make sense, or it may not make sense to take that much or a percentage to be used for this. So you have to really understand before you go and apply, understand what you're using those funds for, and sit down with your accountant, your CPA, whoever it is, look through your debt schedule, look through your financials if necessary, your bank statements, to, in a way, reverse engineer your outcome. What are you trying to achieve? And then how much does it cost? What are you earning, return on your investment there? And then work backwards to say, okay, this season I know I'm going to double, triple, quadruple my bottom line. And so this is what's going to happen, or I'm going to keep myself stable. But if you're just trying to survive for COVID relief, a lot of the times you're already suffering with cash flow. It may not be in your best interest. So learn more, apply now, get approved for a line of credit up to $1 million, draw as you need, pay as you grow. And in certain times, access to funds can make or break your business. You can see here with the line of credit. Excuse me, if you did not know what a line of credit is, a line of credit, it's where you can get approved for certain amounts, and you can draw those funds and use them whenever you want, however you want. So instead of getting a lump sum, like a cash advance or a different type of business loan, unsecured, secured, and you're having to repay it in 8 months, and here is what is expected daily, weekly. This is going to allow you to then withdraw those funds and say, hey, I only want to use 10,000 of the 30,000 that I was approved for, and I only pay interest on that 10,000. And we look at this and how we amortize it, and we say then you're paying back this amount for daily, weekly, or even monthly, however the program is set up, whichever lenders you go to. And so you can use it, and it can be a revolving line of credit, where then it goes back into the original, let's say 50,000 is what you, or 30,000 what you got approved for. You only use 10,000, so it's back in the original 30K. Simplified process, minimal paperwork, same day approvals up to 1 million, tailor-made repay program that works for your business, fair and flexible repay program, excuse me. And you can see they're building a new website, stacking up inventory, setting up marketing, getting cash flow, and on my business, minimum of 25,000 in monthly revenue is what we're looking at. So you may already be out of the question. This is the case, so stick with me. I'll have an alternative. And there's even another one where you can get in with 15,000, and it's a hybrid. It's my #1 recommended. It's one of my favorite places to go through, and it's what I've also recommended to other business owners. So I'll link to that down below, and also show you that in just a moment. Minimum of 6 months in business is what we're asking for. No obligation, no equity, fast approval, fund my business. But before I show you that process, let me come back over here. Other products, equipment leasing. See there. The credit guidelines, application only up to 150K, up to 250K for stronger verticals and credit profiles upon credit officer's discretion. Comparable credit, greater than or equal to 50% of request. Lack of comparable credit or other perceived profile weakness mitigated with bank statements of 100,000. Tax returns or CPA prepared, audited / reviewed, financial statements to 150,000. Personal guarantees are required for all businesses less than 10 years time in business or less than 25 employees or upon credits officer's discretion. Bankruptcies, both on personal and entity, must be greater than 7 years since occurrence. And I'm going to just kind of quickly go through this because it's quite a bit. So you can see that. You can rewind it. Startup, consider less than 1 year time in business, 25,000. Less than 2 years time in business, 35,000. 30% soft cost maximum. Personal guarantees are required with FICO scores greater than 700. And general transportation guidelines, light duty and medium duty, used equipment guidelines right there. So now let me go through another product just to show you, fix and flip. Residential fix and flip guidance as of 11/25/2020, that could change over time. Loan amount, minimum 50,000, maximum 1,500,000, 1,500,000 greater than on exception. Maximum loan to cost, 90% of purchase price, not to exceed 90% loan to cost. 100% rehab costs, which is good. Maximum loan to ARV, 70%, 75% on exceptions. FICO, if past bankruptcy or foreclosure, 12-month IR, term length up to 12 months. Recourse, full recourse. Pledge of shares, 1% increase in rates for no pledge. Experience, all levels are considered. Profit test, minimum of 15,000. Borrower pricing, you can see that we're going to go through it rather quickly. Required documents, you can see on screen there. And then let's scroll down here and then see what we can do with web services. So we make websites that work. This is something that I also do too. If you need help building up a Squarespace, WordPress, Wix websites. A lot of the times today I work with WordPress, but I've been familiar with all the other ones. I've also helped other businesses set it up. When I was a 9-to-5 employee working underneath multiple businesses, this is what I would do. That came after I was doing other projects. I worked in logistics, with business operations, understanding and working on the budgeting. But before all that, I had to work hard to get to where I got to. And it wasn't easy by any stretch of the imagination. And I won't go into in depth my backstory in this video, but that could be for another time. Pricing, logo creation, social media management services, and this stuff that I help you guys with out too. But that's a part that they offer. Resources, blog, reviews, submit documents. So the apply now, we click there. Funding application. And then you want to read that. And then you just have business information there. You'll want to supply. Let me move this. I apologize if it gets dark. I have an HP computer that I recently bought. I had an old one. Keys weren't working well, so I had to get a new one. And then I'm still rolling around with the lighting on this one. So I have to open up like an extension for the lights to appear better. And then when I exit out, I'm going to be able to show you. But business information, business legal name, merchant, business doing business as name, DBA, street address, suite floor, city, state, zip, and then next. And there will be 6 steps to go through all of this that you can go through. So if you click on get started there, there's another way it can bring you out of 3 steps, contact info, and so forth. You can learn more, submit your application. And let me go over here to merchant cash advance. So you can click on get in touch. It'll bring you down here. You can enter in that contact information. And let me make sure I didn't miss anything. So line of credit, apply now, and it'll bring you to the same page. Let's get funded and agreed. So anything else like business, personal, uploading documents, that's a lot of what you're going to see on these online application processes, and then confirming it that it's been sent. And they have a back office of underwriters and people who will personally be able to help you along the way. Now, I'm not sure if I did really show you this, but I think I did. Apologize, I think pretty sure. But this is the questionnaire again that I have down below, just in case you want to understand how to get funding and get the best funding solution, because I know them as a broker agent. and I'm going to reveal to you what is the best direction to go into. And now, as an alternative, what I recommend for best merchant cash advances for same-day funding as well as other ones, one of those being Biddy Advance. Plus, you can get 13,000 free bonuses as your independent agent slash loan broker. And I'll leave this article down below. If it's not there, there'll be a link that you can go and check this out. And there are partnerships with Biddy that you'll see if you come across another page, where you can get up to 25,000 or perhaps 35,000, up to 2 million, 100,000 line of credit, gig worker, self-employed, 1099 funding that I'll leave you to down below in the description. But what you would need with this, and you can get up to 25,000 with a specific partnership that we have, just a 550 FICO, a business checking account, have 6 months in business, 5,000 plus monthly bank revenue, and all industries are considered. Payment history will earn you more. And this is where we've partnered with Biddy in a specific company where we're not taking a future percentage of your credit card, even debit card receivables. And it can be generally less expensive, and you understand what you have to pay back without a fluctuation. And then you can also get up to 2 million. And there's requirements to that where you just want to have 4 months in business, 15,000 plus per month at the moment is what we have. And a business checking account, online banking is set up, but we just need 3 months of bank statements, just about, depending on if you're needing less than 150,000, sometimes underneath 100K. A voided check and a copy of your driver's license. And you can get the funding you need much faster, as well as what I would see in a lot of cases. And the benefits of coming through them and getting the best offer presented to you, it's bar none one of the best solutions out there. But again, I'll try to leave this article for you down below in the description. You can see some of the other ones for same day. And if you'd like to learn about what are the other services provided, again, this questionnaire will be there down below in the description. This would be the #1 place to get started. And again, like I said, I have other recommendations outside of total merchant resources that I personally would recommend as my #1. And what I know works very well, and it's very safe and secure, very streamlined, robust application process. And there's something different for every single person. It just depends on what you're needing, as well as what are your funding details telling us? What is your time in business? FICO, if business credit, we have to look at what is that. But with a lot of cash advances, they don't report to that, like especially the business credit bureaus like Dun & Bradstreet. It's all personal credit based. And so in a lot of these products, you do see personal guarantees. You just have to accept the fact that over 99% of the time, that's what these come with, unless you're working on a back-end route, like I said earlier, with a certain amount of time in business and so forth. And the relationship, perhaps personal guarantee would be taken off, but don't expect that to be the case. Now, that'll conclude everything from myself in this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to voice them for me down below in the comment section. If you got value out of this, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others if you feel they will get value out of it. And if they need help, it can be a complete stranger, a friend, and or family member. And if you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so and click that bell notification icon so you do not miss any future videos I will be coming out with. That is all for today. Make sure to look in the description. It's more. Talk soon. Bye.